It is Saturday morning and I have been trying for weeks to hang a gallery wall down my hallway, and I just have not had the motivation to want to do it. I would also say this is coupled with the fact that one, I don't want to do it, but two, I really want to vlog it and I really want to film it. And it's one of those things, once you start filming some of the projects you're trying to do around your home, it actually adds to the mental load, the mental stress of having to do the actual project. So today I'm ripping off the band-aid. I don't really care about making this a super polished video. It is what it is. I want to share more about my life with you guys. I want to just show up and be seen in all of the different facets of what I look like and my life in my home. So today we're just forging ahead and we are going to complete the gallery wall. For the record, I feel like I have to state that I actually still might not complete the gallery wall today, but at least I'm going to get a start on it. I might start organizing the frames, and hopefully I can get it all completed later this weekend. Fingers crossed. I really just want this off of my plate. Also, how cute is this mug? I went to the Calgary Gem and Mineral Show yesterday with my mother-in-law, and it was just so fun. Like, the vibes or whatever there were just so nice and peaceful. I actually love being in a room with people who are just all interested in the same thing as you. And to be honest, I don't even know that much about crystals and rocks and stuff, but I do know a fair bit. But it interests me. It's something that I like. I find it really cool. And not everybody does. So it is fun when you're in spaces with people that share the same interests as you. Not only was there a lot of gems and crystals and things, but there's actually a lot of fossils, which I wasn't expecting there to be. So I got to see a lot of cool stuff. Like, I got to see a megalodon tooth, which was pretty sweet. And we met just the most incredible woman. She had her PhD in like psychology or something like that. But she also was a medium. She had a booth there with these really cool mugs, kind of like tongue-in-cheek sayings and logos on them. And it was really fun. She actually did a little bit of a reading for my mother-in-law and I, and it was just such a meaningful experience. It was just so cool to have met this person and experienced that with one of my closest relationships, which is my mother-in-law. So it was a great time. It was really fun. I'm really happy we did it. So if you're in Calgary, I believe there's another gem and mineral show coming up in September. I would highly recommend it. It's a great time. I am going for a run, and I just wanted to say, for anybody who's thinking about getting bangs, I recently got my bangs cut a little bit shorter. Wasn't sure if I wanted to commit to a full bang or if I wanted to keep going with my curtain bangs. And I have to say, having the full bangs has just been amazing. It's great. I was kind of worried that when they got greasy, I wouldn't really be able to pin them back. But honestly, doing the slick back look, it's totally fine pushing them to the side. I think they look great. So it's been awesome for running. I can just simply pull my bangs to the side like this, and I love it. So I am definitely procrastinating from getting the gallery wall done. However, I am feeling a little bit of pressure because this afternoon we're going to an engagement party. I feel as though we don't want to show up empty-handed. So I am just here at HomeSense trying to find kind of a smaller engagement gift, but still something thoughtful and kind. I don't know about you guys, but I do feel like as I've progressed in my 20s and the closer I get to 30, I do feel that I need to try and prioritize my friendships and my connections with people a little bit better. So there's a lot of pressure around, you know, celebrating seasons of people's lives, getting gifts, but then also being a good friend, being there for people, reaching out when they need you. I don't know. It's a lot. Being a friend is a lot of responsibility, and I don't always feel like I do a great job of it, but again, that's probably me just getting in my head. Let me know in the comments if you feel this way too. So let's have a look through Marshall's and see what we can find for the engagement gift. Okay, I am an absolute shopaholic. These are some of the things I got as well. This scalp cleanser works so great, and honestly, it smells just like all of the products that I used on our honeymoon in Italy. I think this is actually made in Italy. So this smells really great, and it works really well as well. And then I got 2 dresses. I have a wedding coming up in September, and I only need 1 dress, but honestly, both of these fit so well and they look so cute, so I had to get both. Did I not say this would happen? Did I not say I would be sitting here Monday morning and this frickin' gallery wall would not be done? I said that. I said that on camera. I have the evidence. But yeah, it's Monday morning and I didn't even get even a little bit of a start on my gallery wall. So I'll take you over there. You can see there's nothing. Nothing is done. Nothing's done. So 10 a.m. Monday morning, I want to get this fucking organized and I want to get it done. So we shall see if that happens today. Here is the hallway in question. As you can see, not a single piece of art is up. So this is where I plan to have all the artwork. And there is the gallery wall items. So not really organized, not really ready to go, but we're gonna see how far we can get in one day. As you can see, this is all of the frames and pictures that I am going to be including in the gallery wall. I also went out and got all of the hardware I'm going to need. So at first I went to the dollar store and I just got this tiny little picture hanging set. I think it comes with like, I don't know, probably like 10 hooks, which is not going to be enough. I did get 2 of those. They were $1.50 each. And then I went to my local hardware store. These were $20 each, but they come with way more hooks. So this is what I'm going to be using. And then for anything that's really heavy, I do have just like a general screw set that I can also use to hang them. But for the most part, I think most of what's here is pretty light. So I should be just fine with the little nails and the hooks. Let's hope anyway. A couple weeks ago, I did also go and get pictures printed off just so that I can fill some of just the frames that I have, the general frames that I have. Or if there's any artwork that I want to swap out for a more personalized picture, I'm going to do that today as well. And for anybody who's keeping track, it is currently 12:23. So I am getting started on this project before 1 p.m. I'm really hoping that I can have it done before 5. My husband finishes work and so he'll be home. So it'd be really cool if I could have it done before he gets home from work. So fingers crossed that this goes really easy and there's no hiccups or anything that goes wrong. So my hallway has a few different sections. There's the long hallway that has the two longest walls, but then there's this little section here beside our master bedroom. I think I want to do just kind of like a small, set of 2 or set of 3, but something just small and intentional here. I don't want to overfill this space. And similarly, I do have a small wall here, as well as a little kind of like a mid-size section here. I don't think I want to fill these up too full. Again, I think I could do maybe like a set of 2 and maybe like a set of 3 or something along this wall. I'm thinking pieces that I have sets of, so like an actual grouping of a similar concept, I'm going to put for this wall, the wall beside my master bedroom, and then this wall here. And then these two are the large walls down the hallway. I am still kind of undecided as to if I want to fill just this wall, floor to ceiling, all frames, and then again, maybe carry the theme of a couple of frames here. I think that could look cool. It keeps most of the chaos just strictly limited to this wall here. I think that may look best. However, it may feel a little bit more balanced if I fill both walls. I don't know yet. I think I'm just going to have to start throwing artwork on the wall and then see kind of how I like it. And then for the record, we are planning on painting all of the walls in our upstairs, as well as switching out all of the switch plates and things. That is a project probably we're going to do for fall, but I thought if I hang up my pictures now before we paint, gives me a chance to kind of fuss around with where I want things, put extra holes in the wall, knowing that by the time fall comes around and we repaint, I can fill in all of those holes, we can repaint. And then once I know where I actually want my items to be placed, I can leave those holes so that once I paint, it's just really easy to hang them back up. So the first set is this set of 3 here. I actually painted these myself. It was kind of during the midst of COVID when spackle painting was like all the rage. Now, not to toot my own horn, but I do think mine looks better than just your typical Etsy spackle paint. I did mix some oil paint in with this, and I did it a little bit more intentionally. So I do want to keep this together as a set. I may hang them either on this wall or maybe across on this wall. This is a smaller set that I actually thrifted. I think these I could keep together and I could do kind of like the set here. I think the scale is appropriate for this small area. I also just hate having barriers for myself that stop me from doing a project. So if the one thing that's stopping you from doing a project is that you're not sure of the correct way to do everything, just start. You don't have to do it perfectly. You don't have to be a professional. You learn as you go. And like I said, mistakes happen. I plan on painting these walls in a few months anyway, so any mistake that I make is going to be covered up. I think I'm gonna hang it like this. Something that always happens to me when I'm hanging art in show homes or I have somebody hanging my art is I always feel like where I want it, like personally, intuitively, I would put it here. But a lot of people always tell me that my art, when I put it on the wall anyway, or when I hold it up to the wall, that it's too low and that it should be up a little bit higher. I personally, this is my personal opinion, is it's typically a man who's hanging the art for me. And I think it's because they're taller, their eye level is a little bit higher. So my husband is 6'3", 6'4". So though it feels natural for me to put it here, I think I am going to put it a little bit higher just for that factor. And when you're hanging art, if you don't have a pencil and you just need a quick reference on where to put something, a good item to note is light switches. So you probably can't see it in the frame right now, but there's a light switch just a little ways down the wall. I can see that the bottom of this frame is at the top of where the light switch would be. So I'm going to remember that in my head. and I'm just gonna set it down kind of in line with where I want it. On the other side of this wall is plumbing. So that's a pretty long nail. So I may take that out and actually proceed with a smaller nail. I think this is overkill. And I really don't want to hit a plumbing pipe on the other side of this wall. So again, lesson learned. A couple years ago, I actually have a video of this on my YouTube channel, but I was actually drilling into a different wall in my house and I hit an electrical wire, and it was a big wire. It was the electrical wire for our dryer, and it literally sparked. It didn't shock me, but I saw the sparks fly out. I looked down my drill bit and it actually had singed off like half of the drill bit. So it was a pretty big mistake. So again, just like something to be so mindful of. You honestly don't need huge nails to go into the wall. A lot of artwork can be supported just fine by a smaller nail. You don't always have to screw in. But if you are going to hang something large, ensure that your screws are going into a stud. And if you're just nailing through drywall, you do not need to use a big long nail. A nice small nail is just fine to support a lot of just really light artwork. I love that I just didn't even decide to take a before shot. Anyway, this is my before shot, even though I do have a little bit hanging up. Oh my god, do I have to move that hammer? Ah, for crying out loud. Okay, one more. Here we go. From the top. Okay, I'm just gonna start hauling pictures into the hallway, and we're gonna start on this wall, and then whatever's left, I will think about this side wall and then that smaller side wall there. My camera died as per usual, but I forged ahead and brought out all of the artwork and frames that I'm going to be hanging. I also went through and put my photographs in frames. That probably took the longest part of this whole process, was just picking out the pictures that I wanted to display and making sure they fit in frames. Some cool frames that I actually bought were from Dollarama. So these were nice because I could sandwich a few of the smaller pictures that I have into one frame. So I have 3 of these ones. Honestly, all I'm going to start doing is throwing all of this artwork at the wall and just figuring out where I want to see each piece. My general idea for how I want to hang everything is to start with the top row. So I want the top row to all be in line, and then I want the bottom to all be in line. So I think I might just start by hanging artwork with the start and stop point of where I want the gallery wall, and then I'll just fill it in from there, all of the other items in the middle. It's done. I'm so proud of myself for finally getting to all of these pictures and getting them hung. We've lived here for about 4 years and I am just slowly getting pictures on the walls. It's one of those things when you start traveling and you're living your life, you don't always think to print off your photos and get them in frames. So what I like to do is when I'm periodically out thrifting, I thrift lots of different frames with the intention of printing off my photos as I go through life and filling the frames with them. So this is the first full gallery wall I have ever put together. It is a little bit large. One thing that I'm kind of hopeful for is within the coming months and years, I can then add to this wall so I can take pieces off and I can put new pieces on. This is also one of those investments I highly recommend people do because this adds a lot of character into your home. And even if you move, these are all items that you can take with you and it's going to make a huge impact wherever you go to, whatever space you live in. So never feel bad about purchasing artwork or proudly displaying your fond memories. These are all things you're going to cherish with time and they never go out of style. It is currently the middle of August and I still have a few projects around the house that I'm trying to finish up before we roll into fall, so definitely stay tuned on my channel. I've got some furniture kind of revamping videos I want to do, and there's a few different renos we're looking to do around the house, so stay tuned for those. Let me know in the comments if you like this project and if you have any other ideas of video content you'd like to see on my channel. And as always, it helps me out if you subscribe to my channel, so be sure to do that and click that notification bell, and we'll see you in the next one.